CNN did a town hall with Senator Bernie Sanders. And so here's a clip from that town hall.
We're back with Senator Bernie Sanders. I want to introduce Grace Thomas. She's a local civil rights attorney. She's a Democrat. Grace?
They, them pronouns, actually. Thank you.
Oh.
Good evening, Senator Sanders. Polling and turnout data indicate that men of all racial demographics are turning away from the Democratic Party.
So in the great words of Tom McCluskey, asked and answered, her question was, why are white men not voting Democrats?
It's they, them pronouns, actually.
Oh my
gosh.
They, them pronouns, actually. I'm like,
she's
this is not the
clearly
answer.
Female. What is this?
This is not the answer. So you know what? I'm frustrated on a couple levels with this because the way that YouTube works, I just wanted to see the full town hall. I was like, please because I saw this clip go viral. I'm like, okay, what was the context around it? What's going on? And it's just like people reacting to it, which is so annoying. I'm like, I just want to see, and they always cut off his answer. So I'm like, how did Bernie handle this actually? Because it is a legitimate question. There is a very vocal minority of the party that this is all they care about. And they're like, we realize we can't win unless we bring over normal white men, basically. And so I was like, oh, how did he answer? So I watched the full response. I'm not going to play it. It's too long. But basically, he's like, it's kind of smart, actually. He said, I see that people have different points of views. And, I have X progressive view. I think he said, I think every woman should get an abortion. I think healthcare is a human right. I have these progressive views, but... And then he switched it to economics. He's like, but, do you understand that the oligarchs are how much these insurance companies are making, that people are making rich and you're poor? And then, of course, he got his claps at the end. But I thought back to, I just don't, well, that was a smart move. I don't think this is ever going to work. And it reminded me of this infamous moment. Josh, you may be familiar with this. Bernie Sanders went to go speak at a Seattle BLM protest 9 years ago. So this was actually before a lot of the George Floyd stuff. I can't remember exactly what this was over, but 9 years ago, so pre-George Floyd. And this, I'll never forget this. This is the moment I knew this was not going to work out for Bernie Sanders and the left. But he goes up, he tries to speak, and this is what happens. So for the audio listeners, he gets basically assaulted by two black women saying, we're going to shut this down and unless you let a black woman speak. And then he continued to get berated after, and this is in Seattle. And I'm just like, I think it is a smart play on I think Bernie Sanders actually is not dumb. And highlighting wealth inequality is smart. I think that there is an issue right now in the country. We cover it many times on the podcast, but you can't put in your lot with people whose entire view of politics and the common good revolve around gay race communism. Exactly. If you're just going to continually wage warfare on behalf of whatever your identity is and just continue to push people out, that message, while it might be smart and true, is just there's no future for it in the Democratic Party right now. So I didn't, in a way, smart answer, but I think the true answer is not going to work.
So sad.
And here's another quote I found. Someone on Twitter was like, I supported Bernie in 2016, but I eventually dropped support for this very reason. The misogyny on the left is very real. And if a woman voices her concerns, she gets shouted down by Bernie bros. He could be doing a lot more to address it. And we have a quote from AOC. Bernie supporters have been very, very damaging to him. And it's really frustrating to see and experience. They don't realize how influential they are. It's frustrating to feel they are hurting him. AOC said in the midst of her 2020 primary, according to her book, I feel like Warren is scooping up LGBT, progressives, women, and progressives of color because of how they isolate.
Because she's a Native American woman? Is that what?
I think she's just more shameless. She's more shameless. She should go after it. Yeah. To me, Bernie Sanders actually had the opportunity to really inherit the populism streak in the country and just completely rolled over to the machine Hillary Clinton. Just got whacked. Didn't put up a fight. Actually just removed from the Democratic primary. And then Donald Trump just picked up all of the populist people that, and what is he doing right now? He's waging war on China basically to get manufacturing back in America, to bring back good middle-class jobs. In some ways, Bernie Sanders is advocating for the same thing, obviously through different means, but the messaging is actually very similar. So to me, he just fumbled his chance and there's no way of recovering it in the modern Democrat Party. Hey, if you like that clip, you definitely like the full show. We tackle the biggest headlines in news, culture, and politics live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Hit that subscribe button now, and we'll see you then. Thanks for supporting the show.